we are ready. I'm excited you're here with me. And I say, let's begin. I think we're both up there, Jeanette. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right. It's Mercury retrograde right now, so we're going to be kind and give everybody some grace here. All right. Hello, everyone. I would love to introduce to you Jeanette Cermak Pro. She is the proud owner and director of Plaza Production One Mobile Dance Studio. She has been bringing professional dance instructors to school sites since 1984. That's amazing. Now, Jeanette experienced a great loss of revenue and nearly lost her business during the pandemic. But through Infinite Opulence, her mindset was raised. I mean, it was changed, right? The vibration, her positive thinking. And it was instrumental to her. So let's have her, right, share her story, and let's give her a warm welcome. Jeanette, I'm so grateful you're here.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm grateful to be here too.
Because I want to hear how you're thriving today.
Things are very much better.
Yeah. So let me ask you, how did you, because I'm going to take you back in time here. All right. How did your life feel before you started Infinite Opulence, the healing activations?
Well, way back, Lisa, when we met, which was 5 years ago or so, I was very insecure. And I was led to you because I had a fear of being on camera. There's no way that I could be doing what I'm doing right now 5 years ago. I was terrified.
Isn't that true? You were so afraid, Jeanette, of being visible. And yet here you've got this company that is very visible, and you're the mouthpiece, and a really good one, I might say. And you had a fear of public speaking, and you had a fear of being on camera. You are so right. All right.
Yeah, I had a really tough time being on camera and also speaking in public. Ironically, I danced professionally for 15 years. Wow. And I had no trouble dancing in front of 10,000 people.
So interesting.
But opening my mouth at a parents' meeting with 50 people present terrified me. And I knew I had to get over that somehow because it was going to hinder me in my business.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. Tell me about the company, your company. I mean, you're out in the world doing great things for kids in in schools everywhere. Anyway, you tell us, what was it like when the pandemic hit for you?
Well, I was in my car on the way to San Diego to do a speaking engagement, actually, for Pinnacle Global Network, and was also participating in the event. And it was March 14th. It was all of a sudden my phone just started blowing up. I had to pull over. I was driving from San Diego over to, I was driving from Los Angeles to San Diego, and I had 70 schools. They were all closing. And I thought, wow, I don't know what to do, because I had parents already pay for in-person services, in-person dance classes, and I had no idea what to do, because I had never, the situation presented itself with all the ferocity of a forest fire. I live in Sunland, Tahunga. If you've watched the news in the last few years, you know that our Sunland, Tahunga is pretty much synonymous with forest fires. You can count on death, taxes, and you'll have a fire every couple of years. and it was sort of like you know, the fire hits, you grab a few things, and you run out the door. There was absolutely no warning. And I thought, okay, it's the 14th of March, 2020, and I am going to have to figure something out. So it was
a dark day. Okay.
It was a dark
heavy
day.
day, and it didn't just flip overnight, right?
No,
Okay. That's a really icky feeling to be in, for anybody to wonder what's next. Okay. And that's where you
right.
were. And
And actually it did flip overnight. I mean, all of a sudden everything closed up. I mean, they were talking about closing
yeah.
up,
And then it
but
did.
all of a sudden it was like, bam, it's done.
Right. Right.
And I remember holding a staff meeting via Zoom on that Monday, because I didn't know what we were going to do, but I knew something, minor like a world health crisis wasn't going to stop me from bringing dance to children. So we figured it out.
Well, there must have been I'm going to interpret here, maybe some deep feelings of scarcity, right?
Yes.
Because how do you pay for employees, your dance instructors, your assistant, if the schools now are closing? So I don't know that that's the moment, but I'd love to know, is there a moment that you can share where you felt the benefit of doing this work with Infinite Opulence?
There was do you want to know the event or the moment?
Well, I want to know what it was that transpired for you, right? Maybe.
Well, I started doing the videos or excuse me, the audios through Infinite Opulence. And at first I was so into the scarcity mode that I thought, you were giving us a great deal, but I thought, oh, okay, I'm only going to buy the money one. And you said, no, Jeanette, buy the whole thing. You need the whole thing. So I said, okay, well, I'll start with the money one, then I'm going to success, and then I'll just work my way down the line.
Yeah.
But I would hike in the hills and listen to these audios.
That's so cool.
And I mean, I had to do something, and we had Zoom. I was paying for 3 Zoom rooms. We ended up putting everything on Zoom. So in other words, if we were supposed to be at a Montessori school 3:00 p.m. on a Monday, we would be there at 3:00 p.m. in the kids' living room. We just decided we would do that. But it was baptism by fire. We did not know what we were doing. We didn't know the legal ramifications. We told parents, hey, if you don't want your child, everybody just had their own class there. But I actually had one parent reach out and say, my daughter was in the class and her image was being shown, and she talked to her attorney.
Oh, that's frightening.
Yeah, and it was really scary. And I said, and then I pulled out but she had been with me for a number of years. And I said, well, here's the liability waiver that you did sign.
Yeah.
But it was really, everything was really scary. It was very unknown and very scary. And but we learned to do all these things. We did, we learned to spotlight the dance teacher, all these things we didn't know.
So then is it fair to say then that by clearing these vibrational energies, inherited patterns and trapped emotions, that you then had more clarity and the confidence to be able to actually see them as opportunities? Because sometimes when we get shut down in scarcity, we don't see something as an opportunity.
That's very true. I never really made that connection, but I know that inside I felt different all the time when I listened to the audios. I felt I felt calmer. I can't say I felt calm because I was in the middle.
No, you're having something happening every day, right? So that would be, if you felt calm, right, or calmer, then that's a way that our confidence is getting stronger.
Yes, and and interestingly enough, the other day I was listening to the success video, or I keep saying video, the success audio, and I started to feel shaky and kind of uncertain. I thought, well, I probably something is ready to happen. Yeah. Because it was shaking me up a little bit. Yeah. So, and I know that this work can do that.
Oh yeah. So that's why I tell you to drink lots of water.
I do.
Yeah,
I
not
do.
listened to often. So you've got this kind of wired down pretty well. How are some ways that your life looks or feels like, you know, different now since you have started engaging with the work?
Well, I feel much more confident and much more comfortable to be on camera.
Mhm.
I'm really comfortable being on camera actually, and I never would believe that I would be that
Mhm.
way. And
I
not from
saw
where I
it.
went. I used to throw up before I had to go speak with somebody, and now I'm comfortable.
And
I'm
yet you could
comfortable. So
dance in front of
that's
you.
one way. And I know that my money mindset is much better now from listening to the audios and moving forward. Things are so much better. In September, for example, I had one of my best Septembers yet. And I just basically, August was really slow, but coming back from the pandemic, and I had expanded my business. You know, another thing that Infinite Opulence teaches you is to really expand your reach, expand your consciousness and your confidence. And that gave me confidence to reach out to places like San Diego, Arizona, Texas. So I have money coming in from different areas, so I don't feel, so if things shut down in Los Angeles, even again, I have a little bit of a backup plan, and it's
Oh,
giving
that
me
makes me,
confidence.
yeah, yeah. And so the money thing must have worked out. Okay.
It did work out. In fact, one time, I mean, I received very little PPP money, the Paycheck Protection Program.
Mhm.
I needed every little bit I had, but I remember one time in particular, I listened to your video, and the next day I looked, the next day I looked in my bank account, my business account, and I had a $56,000 IDA
Oh,
loan drop in my account. I mean, out of the sky. I had not applied for it. All of a sudden, boom, there it was. And
there
I
it
was
walks.
shocked. And it was the day after listening to one of your audios. And I
Oh,
thought, wow, this is really the gold at the end of the rainbow.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because really in our life, there is always more available, even when it doesn't feel like that. There is. We just have to get through it. And sometimes the bad thing that happens ends up being that blessing in disguise.
Right.
But, right. But I really want to acknowledge that you did the work too. Like,
Yes, I did. I did work very hard, but
very hard. Yeah.
it came back. And another interesting thing that happened, I have not even shared this with you personally, but I raised my rates, and I was a little
Oh
nervous
my
about
gosh,
that.
I'm so proud of you.
I know 20%. And I raised I thought a part of me in the back of my mind was thinking, nobody's going to pay for that. I did a demonstration the other day,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden I have enrollments just pouring in with that higher rate.
Oh my gosh, this gives me goosebumps.
So that
Best
made me
news
really happy and
ever.
excited, but I would
Yeah,
not have had, without your work or my work that
thank
I
you.
took in
Combined.
from your audios, I would not have had the confidence to do that.
That makes me happy. Mwah. All right. It's a great time for me to ask you, do you have a favorite healing activation that's your go-to?
I think the money ones, I'm
Yeah.
just really kind of a tangible person.
Yeah.
I always think, okay, money and success go together, and the inherent blocks to success. Well, actually, gosh, I like the money ones. I also really like the success one. I think it's the one after, I think it's the last one, where you look at the rubies and the emeralds and all the sparkling. I love that.
The
I love
attraction.
that one.
Yep. I love that one too, by the way.
That's a really wonderful one. And I like the one where you walk into the purple velvet armchair and sit
Do you
down.
like that one? That
I
makes
do
me
like that
happy.
one.
I
That
should
one's a
ask
cool
this
one.
question. Yeah.
I like that one. I like the roaring fire. That just gives me a whole feeling of comfort.
Mm-hmm. So what I did, Jeanette, in each one of those series, I created the brain activation, that visual. Each audio leads on to the next. So the first visual is one. When you listen to the second one in order, it builds on that. It starts there, builds on it. And the third one, it's finished creating it. It's pretty magical. Yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
I felt very like inspired when I was doing them. I really enjoyed it, creating them.
Well, I like going into the trees and at the whole tree, because I've always felt a connection with trees.
And that's the aspen
golden aspen trees.
Golden aspens. And aspens, interesting note here, they connect their root systems together miles.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's right. And so they support each other in their root system. I mean, they really are a lineage. They talk to each other. They communicate with each other. That's why I used it for that whole series.
I thought it was just because they were pretty with the golden.
Well, they are pretty, but I do have them talking to you.
they do talk to me. You hear the whispering in the aspen.
That's right.
Your ancestors.
Yeah.
Although sometimes people, when I'm walking along, sometimes I would walk on the streets, and sometimes I would walk on a trail.
Yeah.
But I sometimes would wonder what people would think when I would reach my right arm up and 300 feet above, and then or the other point when I was putting my arms to my ancestors saying, "Let's go!" People probably driving down the street are like, "What is this woman doing? She's psychotic."
They all vary. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, when you're out in public, that might look kind of weird, and then we kind of get over it and we don't care.
Yes, we don't care.
I have listened to my own content on the airplane. So I plug them into my ears, because what do we do on a plane? We either I'm on a computer on my laptop, I'm sleeping, or I'm watching a movie, right? Actually, I do a lot of reading on a plane, but I can read and still have those plugged in and let my body do its job. It's brain hacking. It's just retraining the brain and releasing those inherited things while I'm doing something else. It's really maximizes my time.
Well, I've done that too.
What you're doing.
I don't know if I could read and have you in the background. I probably
You might not be able to do that, especially the first time around. I agree with you.
But I have folded laundry with you, Lisa.
Okay, that's perfect.
I just the regular, and many times on a Sunday afternoon when I'm straightening up, getting ready for the week ahead, I'll plug in an audio, and I'll be walking around cleaning up and folding laundry, putting that away, and just that whole mundane activity. And I'm not listening to it, 100%, but enough of it is going in.
I love that. That's a great idea to be doing something like
Fold laundry with Lisa.
That's right. Fold laundry. Unclutter your house with Lisa. Get your tasks done.
Right.
I'm curious about something. When you think of the benefits that you've received from this work, can you share the types of people, right, who might benefit from this type of growth? What type of individual would this be good for?
I think a number of different individuals. You worked with my daughter, so young adults, and my daughter, when you came over for dinner, my daughter and her friend came over because they wanted to see Lisa Thomas. Celebrity, wanted to see the cool Lisa Thomas.
This is a perfect example of how a client moves into infinite opulence, and then we continue to stay. We become friends.
Yes,
through this,
and then
that's a beautiful journey.
And my daughter, and you've worked with my daughter, and I remember one time when she was struggling, and it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and you said, I can give her some healing energy. Let me just do this. And she sat on the couch, and I was outside the backyard looking at my waterfall, and all of a sudden I felt this tingling in my legs. And I said, "Lisa, I feel it too." And she said, "Yeah." You said, "Yeah, you're supposed to." Oh, so okay. So to
I
answer
must
your
have been
question,
releasing something inherited at the time.
absolutely. But I
Yeah.
think young adults going through that period of time where you're trying to discover yourself and figure it out are great candidates. I
Mhm.
think that business owners, really good for business owners to step up your confidence, get out of your own way,
Mhm.
do or accomplish everything that that you're meant to be put on this earth to do. I think it gives you a lot. It's given me a lot of inner confidence, and it's just given me so much as a business owner. I also think that anybody involved who's pursuing acting,
Oh, yeah.
because there's so much rejection there. Before you acting, dancing, professional dancers,
Mhm.
and musicians, anybody maybe who's maybe anyone who's pursuing a profession that's highly competitive and has a lot of rejection built in would need your work in order
Yeah.
to give them the inner confidence
Wise.
to move forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. And I also see it that I mean, you took action in this when you had nothing. Like, let's just put that out there for what it is. You had nothing available and you trusted. You were literally in the despair. And that's really when we need it most, is oftentimes when we don't do something for ourselves because we're so in despair and scarcity and fear, right? And I really want to acknowledge you that you took action in a really difficult time, where spending any extra money, just if we were to look at it if we're going to be critical of it, why would you do that, right? And yet it was part of what helped you do what you needed to do. So way to go. Okay.
Thank you, but I knew I needed tools. I
Yeah.
needed tools, and I knew enough that I had to take, I was, making payments on my DWP, my Department of Water and Power bill, but at the same time, I knew I had to take care of myself.
So would you say then that it's because of that made you ready for this kind of transformation? What do you think, what about your life made you ready for this moment of transformation?
What in my life made me ready?
Yeah, it's kind of an odd question, but as I'm literally formulating it as I'm thinking, as you're saying that this is how you were feeling. You got to pay DWP, like there's something in you. It's that tenacity, dear one, that you're like, and I also want to point out that clarity that you can, trust yourself when all feels lost.
Yes, I know inside that I do have a purpose.
Yeah, you do.
And I don't want to be toward the end of my life, or 80, 85, and still feel like I've left something on the table.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to, when I leave this earth, whenever I leave this earth, I want to be done. I want to have given everything that I can possibly give. And that's a good question, because I remember when I worked with you, was for the first time when I went to your home. Tim had recently lost his job.
Wow. So you'll take action.
Yes,
you'll take action then in transformation.
Yes.
When there isn't an option. I love that.
Yes.
This is a fun surprise to be figuring this out together.
Yes, but I thought I have to, and I was working with some other programs, and your program was another piece.
Right.
I was doing a video project, and it came out that I had a really difficult time being on camera, talking on camera. Yeah. The video project, the video of teaching dance to kids, not a problem, but talking was very, very difficult. And I thought, to move forward, this is another piece that I need to get over.
Mhm.
And also, when I spoke with you on the phone and worked with you in the healing circles, remember the healing circles?
Mhm. Well, that's so interesting. So there's a bonus to this for people that buy it this time, and that is my Clear DNA group, which is the live healing.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are great because I remember you told me, hey, I can't get you in right away, but you can be part of the healing circles until until your appointment. And I thought, really, that's so cool. And I would always carve out time in my schedule for the healing circle.
Yeah.
And then when I saw you, that that was a whole different thing.
Yeah. Each thing, leads to another.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. All right. I have another question for you. Okay.
Okay.
What are 3 words that you would associate with this work or your experience?
I just need to take a moment. I would say clarity, purpose,
I love that.
and peace.
And peace. All right. I'll take it. Right. Because when we live in internal chaos, then we don't, we don't, it feels icky. It doesn't feel good. It hurts us physically.
Another word that came up was drive.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I know you said 3, but I had 4.
I'm good. I'm good with that. All right.
Clarity, purpose, drive, and peace.
And peace. It's perfect.
I still struggle with peace.
Yeah, but you don't live in that constant.
But I don't live in that constant.
When I first met you, your life love was in constant overwhelm.
Yes.
Constantly being bombarded by the outside world. Then this land, the pandemic happened, which I actually think that ended up expanding, and you make more money now than you did. And I just think it's great. I think what's ended, where you were when you came to me and where you are now it's magical. I mean, it's a miracle.
You're a totally different person too.
You change over, you do the work, and it changes you over the years too. Huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm very grateful that you came on with me.
I'm very grateful that you chose me. Thank you. It's an honor.
And that you feel comfortable now to be on camera. I asked you some deep questions and you nailed it, sweetie. You nailed it.
Anything else you'd like to ask or anything?
Well, what would you say to those sitting on the fence about their purchase, their investment into their own transformation?
I would say, I'm becoming a little emotional here. I would say that where are you going to be if you don't make the investment in yourself? Where will you be? This is real. This is your life. Who is going to take it seriously if you don't? Take the step, and it will repay you 1,000-fold.
That's beautiful.
Forgive me, I almost started crying there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for this beautiful heart you have and the gift of tenacity that you have, and for sharing it.
I love you.
I love you too. All right. I'm going to stay on and see if anyone has questions.
Do you want me to stay on with you, or
you don't
good?
Need to. You're good, sweetie. Okay.
All right. Love you. Thank you so much.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. That was amazing. Thank you, Jeanette, so much. All right. I believe if I make my screen really big, I can see if you have any questions. I might need to put my glasses on though. So wasn't she inspiring? Can we just give her, some hands in there? Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you for being so vulnerable and open. And let's give her some love. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yes, Dina. Hello, Dina, dear. You are self-led with inner drive, and so is Jeanette. Yeah. All right. Hi, Ron. Hi, Beth. And PK. Hello, PK, dear. So is there any question that you might have? Anything about the audios? So the audios have 19 audios in there, and it comes with a bonus. Well, there's more bonus. I don't know. I can't even think of all the bonuses. That's not really a good thing when I want you to buy them, right?
24, Lisa.
24 audios total. Thank you very much. And you have live healing with me in my Clear DNA group. 3 months. That's a lot. So you are going to get so much value. When it comes to listening to a healing activation, there's 3 of them in an audio series, in a program series. There's money acceleration. There's success upgrade. There's relationships. We all need help right now in healing the relationships with others. And sometimes, let me tell you, it can literally happen overnight when you get rid of the resonating frequency from what you're sending out that resonates with them. Relationships is a great program. There's the forgiveness program. Don't overthink that one. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to make a list of everybody you want to forgive unless you want to. You know what I'm saying? This is not hard. It doesn't, and I don't make it hard in it. All right. We get rid of the inherited pattern of holding grudges and feeling offended easily. You don't need that. You're going to be constantly trying to forgive others if you have an inherited pattern of being easily offended, right? There's so much scarcity clearing in there in all programs, all the extra bonuses. And then live with me, you get to tell me specifically what you need help with. There is a 3-pay option. So I want you to take advantage of it because this is what I'm about. I am on planet Earth to help other people. And it doesn't mean your life has to be in despair for it to be even better. And we can sometimes take so much action and not get anywhere that we start to wonder, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right profession? We start questioning, am I really supposed to do what I'm doing? Yeah, you're supposed to do it. Especially if you did it for love, that you're doing what you do because it's a passion of yours and you're supposed to do it. But there are things that are beyond your marking it off your list that you got it done. There are vibrational energies, there are inherited blocks, there are limiting beliefs that we have around how much we can do, how visible we're safe to be, and the actions that we are allowed to take and what we believe we shouldn't be doing. We don't have that control. You're going to do a lot of years. You could do a lot of years of psychoanalysis, which is healing. All right. I'm not dismissing it, but a good portion of my clients have done that for years once they find me for private work. That means the work that they've done is literally 10 times in a short amount of time. The healing audios, these activations, will do that for you. And you don't have to work with me privately. So, do we have any comments below, Rob, or not? I know there's a delay.
Yes, and it's just a short delay, about 5 to 10 seconds, but we do have, Beth would like to understand a little better how you use the schedule, basically with needing to wait 24 to 48 hours in between each activation.
Yeah, that's a great question, Beth. You get into a rhythm, all right? This is what happens. I'm going to give you an example. So when we are so excited because we're starting to feel better, right? And then we start to overdo. So let's say, we've had a strained muscle and we take some ibuprofen and we start to feel better. And then all of a sudden, right, we overdo it. Or we do our PT exercises and we're feeling better. And then we overdo it because we are. Well, the same thing can happen with these because you'll feel lighter. And then we're like, oh my gosh, I just want to do this. I'm going to, do that adrenaline and make it all happen. Think of it this way. When your adrenals and your central nervous system are processing these releases of energy, after that, it needs time to realign and to rebalance. That's why I take so much time in there to replace what is removed, right? What your body releases with high vibrational frequencies. So it fills those voids. So the time span in between gives your body and your brain time to acclimate, to rebalance. So what I suggest in the very beginning, you'll get used to it to where it just becomes second nature, all right, is you just mark on your calendar. So every week you'll complete one series, or not one, you could, my suggestion is you even listen to one of them more than one time. You don't have to do that. Okay. You can literally go just through every audio in the program. The other thing you're going to find happening is you find that you just really love one. All right. Or you really resonate with one and you gravitate. That's okay. Now, with time, and you've been doing it a long time, you could probably listen to them within it 24 hours. But listening to them too close together, all it does is jam up the energy system. It can't release fast enough. It can't rebalance fast enough. And then it's being asked to clear more, right? So it's like a log jam that happens there. If that happens, okay, what you might get a bad headache. One of the reasons I tell you to drink a lot of water when you're listening and doing this process is because when we keep the cells hydrated and plump, they process that space in between them a lot easier. They'll get rid of inherited things so much easier. And if it helps with anxiety to stay overly hydrated like that, and it will help with listening to the audios and processing them. If you over listen, you might be overly exhausted. You might get a headache. All right. You might start to feel internal angst. Well, that's really your body saying, hey, slow down. Right. That's why you get these audios for life. These are yours. You'll always have access to them. They will become your go-to. I cannot tell you how many clients reach out to me saying they use it to go to sleep when they're, some people are really sensitive to the full moon. And so when that happens, they've got them plugged in, they know their bodies. And so they use them at different times. And you will get that too, Beth. It will start to fall into place for you. So it's not that you cannot listen to them more. It's that if you space it a bit, your body will balance so much easier, and the benefit, right? You'll feel it on a deep level. When they're all bunched together, we don't know what we're feeling. Okay. We don't know what's coming in. We don't know what's going out, if we could feel it that way, and we don't. So that's why. Just mark it in your calendar, put an X. Okay. I promise it becomes second nature to you. I hope that helps, Beth. Beth, let me know. Yep. Shannon, you're actually emotional when you listen. I love that. And Shannon, you are in my Clear DNA and have been for, you've been part of my Clear DNA for a long time, and you've listened to the healing activations, and you've done so well in there. Oh my gosh. I love having you in the group. You know that. All right. What else do we have on here? Well, I don't want to overkeep people. We were kind of late. I can come back in here, but I really want you to I wanted you to see someone whose life has been greatly impacted in a variety of different ways. That's why I shared Jeanette tonight. I'm not going to inundate you with a bunch of testimonials. You all know me well. You've been in my life with me. You know what I'm about. And if you feel called to do it, I want to help you. We are in a massive retrograde right now. 6 planets in retrograde. It's all about transformation. It brings up those icky things about ourselves. It makes the bad worse in us, relationships, technology. Look what happened with technology for me tonight. You got to roll with it. But this time is the best time. It is so beneficial right now to recalibrate our energy systems by getting rid of things we don't need on a subconscious level. If we knew everything, right, we would be able to change at a faster rate if we knew everything, if we could see everything. That's the belief we have. But the truth is, we're also here to learn how to trust our intuition, how to trust our soul's guidance, how to be in alignment with our life purpose. Now, let me just segue a minute. When these things release from your body, they allow also for the body to heal in ways that you might not be aware of. So people have said to me, oh my gosh, Lisa, I used to have this knee pain for years, and you don't even actually say anything about pain, and yet I don't have pain in there. That's because the subconscious, when it traps something, it puts it in a location. Over years of that, it thinks it's helping you, by the way. Over years, what will happen is, as you get older, the body is now screaming in pain to you. It can even become, we can have an illness come about from it. When the body gets rid of the vibrations that it doesn't serve anymore, doesn't serve you anymore, then, right, some miracles happen where it'll allow our body to become stronger. It's a side note of a benefit that happens when we clear vibrational energies that are low. Low vibrational energies do not serve us. Everything that the audio finds is a low vibration, varying in a frequency that your body, your subconscious realizes doesn't serve you anymore. I'm here to help your body, your life, really be in alignment. Like Jeanette, she doesn't want to be 80 something and feel like she missed out on life. And she wants to leave this life feeling like she did everything she could. And I want that for you too. Thank you so much for being in my life, being in Releasing Inherited Emotional DNA, and for being on with me tonight. Hey, Rob, why don't you put the links into the chat into the box, if you don't mind. And there is a 3-pay, everyone. Absolutely. It's not when you go to first sign up, you kind of have to ask for it. It's the way the program is set up. It's not, we just can't change it. So Rob will put the link to 3-pay in a few places in the comments there so you can find it. Okay. All right. Sending you all off in lots of love. Bye-bye.